Hi, thanks for watching a new video blog. So as I explained in this video, there's a Netflix documentary upcoming about me. And for now, I haven't seen it because I didn't participate in it. If I would have participated in it, I would have been able to see the whole movie, but I didn't participate in it, so I have no idea yet what the documentary will be about exactly. I have an idea. They tried to reach out to me several times if I please would consider cooperating, taking part in the documentary, but I decline. Today I want to go deeper into like how deceptive the whole documentary will be, with the little knowledge that I have at this moment. For what I've seen, for what I've read, the direction that the media, because the media is just one big corporation, they're not separated, they're just owned by the same people. The direction that they are choosing to go, the tone that they're using, and also that they're forcing all the people who are involved into. So I explained already in this other video, but I will repeat it again because it's important, that already the title is super misleading, deceptive, demonstrates the utter sensational character of this documentary. No surprise to anybody, Netflix is just like any other corporation, company, focused on making revenue. Now, some of the people participating in this documentary think that it's like a, you know, something like voluntarily, or they do this with a good heart, or they do this with, you know, like emancipation, that they do this with this philanthropical idea, selflessly, to help them. But not the case. Netflix has shareholders, they want revenue, they want views, it's all about money. So they choose for a super sensational title, like The Man with 1,000 Kids. And the whole title is completely wrong. First of all, the word "the man." Now, I am not a woke person, but assume that I was a woke person and I said, well, they decide that I'm a man. Look, I'm not into that crap, but somehow they, all their wokeism is, you know, out of the door. They think, oh, we can just say it's a man. Maybe I would identify if like a them or den or whatever, what's all these nonsense nowadays. But anyway, but they say the man. By saying the man, they focus on a person, a man, and your image is directly, oh, it's a man, it's a guy, that can be anybody. They don't have a specific label added to it, and it is the sperm donor. If you said the sperm donor, then of course the whole title, the whole meaning completely changes. If you would say the sperm donor with 1,000 children, and not kids, by the way, kids, it's like children, they're donor children. I assume they're all adults, I can say children out of respect, but I'll come to that later. It will, if they would say the sperm donor with 1,000 children, nobody would think like, oh, that's odd. Because if you know a little bit about donors, you know that they help up to this large amounts, considered large. For me it's not large, it's normal because it's a donor. You do this to help people. And now we have an extreme shortage of donors. Yeah, we are not in an ideal situation where we can say, oh, there's so many donors, we can limit the amount of help they have. But that's another topic. So, if the title will be the sperm donor with 1,000 children, people will say, well, what's so interesting about that? That's not really like this, that's normal practice, right? You can call any international sperm bank and they will say, well, we go up into the hundreds of children per donor. That's fairly the reality. So already deceiving, misleading, sensationalizing. Then they go to, of course, the 1,000 children. Well, I have never claimed to have 1,000 children. I explain in this video the amount of children that I am 100% sure of that I have helped to conceive privately through the Dutch clinic and through the other clinic that I was part of, is the Danish clinic Cryos. Now, I already counted like about 10 or 12 children into this 550 number, if you want to talk about numbers the whole time. So I am curious how much they would get from the Cryos. And they say, oh yeah, we just say he has 1,000 children. Well, we estimate it. We don't have any evidence. It's just an estimation. He probably has, because if I would tell the truth, like it's 550, yeah, of course he's lying, because that sounds silly, you know. Yeah, they just add 450 children without any evidence, without any proof. So, yeah, super misleading, sensationalizing, untrue, deceptive, lying for the sake of the views. Now, what I want to go a little bit deeper is that the trailer. And there's a short trailer available that I've seen. They would show like this matrix with all these little babies. And this is, of course, horrible. This is so painful to all the children that are a donor child, to be portrayed as, oh, you know, normally we would take every person super serious if they are, you know, their pronouns, and if they're this, and if they're that. We take that 100% seriously. But when it's about donor children, oh, we decide, oh, let's make them just like, oh, they're just like from a fabric. Because that's what you see. You see little babies like in a factory, like they're produced in a factory. And that's what they decide. They decide to downgrade the children to mass production from a factory. Though if you have spent 5 minutes into the life of a donor, and I am 17 years, 24/7 a donor, but if you would have investigated 5 minutes in the life of a donor, if you would have asked me, well, can you show some of your children pictures, you would see that they are all unique. They are not lookalikes, they are not like clones. They can have dark hair, they can be tall, they can look Asian, they can look African, they can look European. So they have this nasty like message that they want to sell, like, oh, donor children, they're just like factory children. People that use the sperm bank, they're basically people that, you know, order a baby and it's just like a product. They have not investigated what it is for recipients to have the courage to use a donor. For many people it's very painful because their husband is infertile, or they are running out of time because their fertility is declining. There's women that I helped and they had to get pregnant in 1 year because they have a certain genetical condition, and they were reliant on a donor that was directly available, like me. And of course, you see the money makers, they don't care. They portray the babies, mass production, all clones. And now I'm a conservative guy, but they have more conservative, dumb ideas as any conservative that you can find. And they always blame conservative people to be dumb and stupid and etc. But these are the really dumb ideas and projects. So you can see that already, for what I've seen in the trailer, is horrible. Is just so manipulating. And then what you read is like the Dutch scammer. So they have the audacity to call me a scammer. Somebody that invested like 50,000 hours of his life selflessly into helping families to create a family. And you can see my video here about the 50,000 hours. I'll explain it where I get that. And they have the audacity to call me a scammer. That they will write, oh, he went out worldwide into scam people into having his baby. His baby. I went out to scam people into having my baby. Again, retarded ideas. A donor is a very emotional decision. Because I am not a father, I am a donor. I am not a father. I don't consider myself a father. I am a father when I have the responsibility, when I have children 24/7 under my supervision. When I'm tucking them into bed at night, when I'm feeding them, when I'm working for them. That's a father. Now I am a donor father, but that's not comparable with a father traditionally. Now the idea that I wanted women to have my baby, you can see how backwards they think about men. That men are here to spread around or something. No, I wanted to help families so that they can have their baby. I decline all rights, I decline all authority over the child. And that took me 1 year to come in, like to agree on in my mind that I have to do this and that I cannot ever expect anything to say in the upbringing of the children. And that's very difficult because your mind, they're still your children. But you have to come into like agreement with yourself. I accept that I am not going to be their father. And the way they're brought up, I don't have a saying in that. I cannot demand to the recipients that the children will eat raw meat, for example. It's not possible. Or they cannot carry my last name. I cannot demand them that they will not swear. Or that I cannot command them that they go to church every Sunday. That's out of my authority. I have nothing to say about that. A donor is somebody that helps others. And the reward is that I know that I did something good for others. I spent my time on this earth serving others, not for myself. And you see how backwards they think. They think, oh, he went out to scam people into having his baby. You see that they have not spent 1 minute in the life of a donor. And that's why I didn't want to cooperate, because they don't want to listen to a donor. Because they have this agenda, this political agenda. Men are evil. Every man that does something, there's something behind it. They're here to do evil things. I'm not going to be portrayed like that. That's why I'm making the videos for you to see what I really think about it. So you can see that they're super deceptive. Again, he went out worldwide into scam people into having his baby. Well, first of all, I didn't scam anybody. I helped them in the best way possible, with all respect, and they got healthy babies, healthy families. I respect their privacy, and I do what a good donor does. So I didn't scam anybody. Next thing is that the recipients, and this is of course the political agenda, the recipients, the women mostly, wanted to have my help. They didn't want to have my baby, they want to have my help. And I helped them with the baby. So they asked me for my help. Nobody asked for my baby. I am not a superstar or a movie star or somebody that people want to have the DNA from. No, they wanted to have my help. And they thought, this is a reliable man. There's certain traits we like. He can help us. But I am not nobody's first choice like the way they wanted to. Of course, everybody wanted to have their partner to be the #1 choice. So the recipients went out to ask me to help them. I have an advertisement, or had an advertisement up, and people will contact me and ask me if I could help them. I didn't go out and approach these people like, hey, have my baby. Here's money to have my baby. No, of course not. I had an advertisement. I said, I'm willing to help parents to create a family. And the people saw it and they say, well, this is the donor that we like. He has certain traits that we like. We feel like he is on the same level of thinking. So we want him to be our donor. So you see, I'm just so, they're so, oh man. These Netflix dudes, they're just so, like, everything has to be like so sensational. They, oh, we write it this way, then people will watch. It's just like they need to add like 10,000 tags or what are these hashtags and things. And it's just like, if you think about it, just like, you know, awful. Like, how can you like write even these things? And then scammer, and they wanted to call it fertility fraudster. Like, I gained something out of it. They probably have this like backwards idea, these pre-assumptions that I'm some sort of atheistic, Darwinistic, you know, seed spreader, that I wanted to have as much children as possible. And that's the pre-assumption that they have about me. So, and if you see my videos, you know, I'm not believing in Darwin, I'm not believing in evolution. I see people as unique souls. I have nothing to gain from being a donor. What I gained was spiritual rewarding from God, from the families, the love that I receive, the thankfulness, the gratefulness. And that's what I get. So it's all, you know, like I say, you can already from a little trailer can see how, you know, how dumb it is. You know, this is like if you watch Netflix. Sorry, but yeah, maybe you should consider canceling it, because this is the way they treat documentaries. They call it documentary. The audacity to call it a documentary even. It's not a documentary. It's just like political propaganda, sensational, to get views, to make money, to make revenue, to keep the shareholders happy. And they don't care about the children. I explained it in my previous video blog, and yeah, that's everything to go read. So you see that I can break down very rational their whole story. They can never beat me in the story, because I am, like I say, 17 years long, 24/7. So I leave it there, and thank you for watching. I'll keep you updated with new videos about this topic. So that was for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.